I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new. Hi, it's Keisha. Nice to meet you all. Boy, we've got quite a bit to get on into, so let's just flip into it. Like, guys, I was literally enjoying my sleep, as in, you know, having a dream about somebody, and then I get a notification. For some reason, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. But don't disturb me when I'm sleeping, babes. Anyways, I got plenty of DMs of people like, Keisha, did you hear what Kendrick had to say about Drake? Did you? No, but hear what I'm about to say, bitch. Bitch, I need to sleep. Leave me alone. Don't do that again. Anyways, couple hours later, the sun is out. Rise and shine. Girl, here I am at 9 a.m. for you guys. Well, for me as well. I'm trying to hear what Kendrick has to say. Like, I don't know how many diss tracks we are in when it comes to the two of them. They've been going back and forth. The boys are fighting. The boys are fighting. I live for a little bit of drama when it's all fun and games. But now that we're involving kids, come on. Now that we're talking about pedophilia, I mean, come on, let's continue that conversation though. Things have gotten a lot darker, you know, and I'm just like, you know, okay, as a consumer, as a viewer, a fan, as an air conditioner bitch, I'm like, okay, girl, let's go for it. I'm trying to see something. I want to know I want to know what's tea. I do. So yeah. Now, when we're talking about Drake and girls and like minors and stuff, this is not a new conversation. I think Kendrick Lamar just brought it out in a way where it was on a different scale, you know? Practically made it clear that I hate you. Kendrick Lamar has practically made it clear I hate Drake. Now, he has his reasonings. They don't like each other. They're going back to back. It's pretty much Drake versus the rest of, like, the industry at this point. Drake is a cringe guy. He's a walking ick, if you ask me, but very talented. I'm not going to take that away from him. I'm not one of those people who are like, oh my god, like, I don't like Drake. Like, I'm not going to try and be different from the other girls, because, babes, I'm not. I'm going to be real with you. I love me some Drake. He's got music where I can shake my ass to it in circles. Or attempt to, bitch. He's got songs which have me thinking about babe, which I don't have a babe. Or he has songs where it's like, I want to slide down my flipping wall because I'm just in agony. Like, Drake has taken me on a roller coaster for years. I'm very appreciative of that, but the guy is very cringe. He's very corny. He's obsessive. Like, the way he's still obsessed with Rihanna when she's popped out 2 babies. Like, bro, have some respect for her, but most importantly for yourself. It's embarrassing. And I've been very vocal about that. But anyways, we're going to be talking about Drake and minors, okay? He's been very, very, very inappropriate. I can name an example, Millie Bobby Brown. When she was 14 years old and she, you know, was just like fresh out of season 1, I believe, of Stranger Things, you know, her career was skyrocketing, her fame was going up, she was gaining so much attention. And imagine being 14 and then Drake is basically in your DMs, like sliding into your DMs, like chatting with you, and you're both saying like you miss each other. Sorry, what?
Friendship with Drake. Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just text each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited. Yeah.
You and Drake, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm not even mad at Millie, because girl, you were 14. You didn't know any better. Like, you probably would just like gassed over the fact that, oh my god, Drake is in my DMs. Like, I love Drake. I listen to his music. Like, this is not wrong on Millie's end. She didn't know any better. She probably saw it as innocent, and maybe to this day probably still sees it as innocent. Now, we don't know what a lot of these conversations consisted of, but it was simply weird.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
I think it was very much one of those things where it's like, okay, whilst they're not saying anything inappropriately, I believe, let's just still keep an eye out on it, you know? But why should we be doing that, girl? Where are her parents at? If they're not chopping her money, then they're just not keeping an eye out on her. She was 14 years old. Again, not her fault. But it's very interesting though, because if you take away Hollywood, whilst a lot of the pedophilia and grooming happens in Hollywood, a lot of it happens in the everyday, regular, schmegular world for us. And, you know, I think a lot of people have probably been in a situation where they thought they were a lot smarter and they thought they were a lot more mature and wiser to clock into things, but they even missed out on some of the signs. Let's go ahead and talk about a few of the lyrics in Kendrick's diss to Drake. Say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. Grown man like beefing is always quite comical to me. I can't explain what it is. I think it's because you're at your grown age. Go to war. Let me stop. I'm joking, guys. Also, if you're new around here, don't take me too seriously, because babes, I don't take myself seriously. So if you take me seriously, you're the problem, not me. Also, if you haven't subscribed at this point, like, babes, I think that's hating. Like, that's probably worse than, that's the worst level. That's worse than the level of hating Kendrick has for Drake. Certified lover boy, certified pedophiles. Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. Like, get it? A minor? Like, music. To all my musical students, baby, you know what I'm talking about. A minor, get it? Like, I'm sorry. Like, where do we start? Let's start with that last line, though, because that had me shockety shook. Bitch, my jaw was on the ground. I was like, say what? I was like, hold on, let me rewind that. Like, I know he didn't say that. Like, sorry? What? This has so many meanings. Number one, a minor as in like the musical chords. A minor as in an underage person. And again, we're talking about pedophilia here. According to Kendrick, a minor as in the chord with only white notes. Drake is a biracial girl, like we get it, like he's got a white mom, black dad, right? A lot of people would say that he shouldn't be saying the N-word. A lot of people are like, oh my god, like you shouldn't be the face of hip-hop. Well, Drake is definitely one of the most, if not the most popular rapper. He just signed a $400 million deal. That guy ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Like, he's going to be around for a very long time. But people do not like the fact that he is the face of hip-hop, or one of the faces of hip-hop. And people also feel the same way about J. Cole as well. And the difference is J. Cole is actually an American citizen, whereas Drake is Canadian. People don't like the fact that he is somebody out of the country who is representing like hip-hop. People really hate that. So I think that that was a very interesting wordplay, and I think that the ones who caught it. Like, when I heard that, again, I was rewinding it. I had to write down some notes because I was literally gagged. I was like, Jesus, I don't want to go up against Kendrick in any type of capacity, and neither should you. But I have to respect Drake though for still going. I think Drake is probably writing as we speak and is probably like smashing his head against the wall like, Jesus Christ, what do I do? Personally, I wouldn't do anything. I think that you might as well just accept defeat and keep it pushing and go on tour, you know? Nothing bad is going to happen for Drake. I think a lot of people who are hip-hop heads specifically are probably going to look at him like, okay, you know, Kendrick won that. I don't think anything technically changes for the guy. I think that probably investigations are probably going to be done and resurfaced clips are probably going to be found. And so it was. There was literally a clip of a minor on stage with Drake, which we're going to go ahead and talk about very shortly. And Drake is just, anyways... And also, I think another meaning to that specific lyric could also, I wrote down here, because A minor is also like the easiest chord to learn, which could also be implying that because Drake is such a bad musician in Kendrick Lamar's eyes, he has to play the easiest chord. Like, I'm sorry, but the way I broke that down, girl, tell me I'm not smart. Like, I'm a lot of things, and smart is one of them. Those are just some things that I thought we could go ahead and just talk about, because that was crazy. So many people in Hollywood, even people roaming around the streets, well, girl, you should not be around no goddamn kids. Stay away from them kids, because you can't even be trusted. Do you know how mad that is? Like, you think people would know better. Having wealth or fame doesn't mean you're sensible. You might be smart and strategic with your money, but you ain't smart about life. You don't know your right from wrongs. Also, I apologize if my lip gloss is doing that white thing. I hate when that happens. Now, can we talk about the photo Kendrick Lamar used for this diss track? Those pins I feel like sex offenders. The fact that Kendrick Lamar made this a catchy song where the beat is like more upbeat, he knows it's very easy for us as listeners to take that in a lot more. So he made it catchy deliberately so that we can constantly repeat it. Do you know how mad that is? Now, I'm not saying Kendrick Lamar is innocent in any capacity, because I don't know the dude from anywhere. You know, he could probably have a few skeletons up in his closet too. But the way that he is taking down Drake needs to be studied. He used a sex offender map showing Drake's mansions as the song cover. That's madness. If we're gonna do the whole devil's advocate thing here, the one thing I will say is, why now? Why now? Because let's be honest, when it comes to these diss tracks, you're basically spilling tea, you know, whether it's made up or not. Like, it's coming with the intention of like, you know, I just found out, I know this about you, the world doesn't know this about you, right? If we're aware of things, people in Hollywood probably knew about it 5 years before we knew about it. Been having conversations, did you know this person did that? Like, so why now? I will say that. Why now? You knew this? Why now? Let's go ahead and talk about the whole Millie Bobby Brown situation a couple years ago. Millie Bobby Brown was 14 years old. Drake was a big grown-ass man in his 30s, okay? Already very weird, him and just following her and interacting. Yeah, you can be a fan of Stranger Things. I'm a fan of Stranger Things. I don't even know if I follow Millie Bobby Brown. No shade or anything, okay? They were chatting to each other saying, I miss you, I miss you. Why'd you miss him? Why'd you miss... Like, again, Millie is not wrong for that at all. I do wish that her parents kind of like controlled her messages and DMs, because at 14 you were very young. I know you can think that you're this grown adult, especially in an industry where you are paying your parents' bills. You know, without you, they probably ain't living in no goddamn mansion. You know, you are the breadwinner. So of course, in your mind, you think that you're a lot more mature than you actually are, but you're just not. And I say this as well. I don't think an 18-year-old is even mature. I'm 23 years old, and I feel like I only felt mature when I hit 21, if anything. You know, people found it very suspicious that Drake and Millie Bobby Brown were engaging in the way that they were engaging. And whilst there was nothing technically sexual about that encounter, it definitely was weird and something that was worth keeping an eye on. And then we didn't hear much about them. But Millie Bobby Brown made a statement. And my thing is, girl, you're 14. Yeah, you're going to defend things because you don't know how it looks. You're just not at that age yet, respectfully, where you actually understand where we are coming from, because we're trying to protect you. We don't want to see this happen to somebody else. There are so many creeps in Hollywood who have done this and prey upon people and groom people and, you know, try and be the funny guy and try and be, you know, the sweet one. I'm just looking out for you. You know, I know the industry. I've been here for a very long time. I'm just looking out for you. I'm just going to give you advice. That's how it starts, in my opinion. They try to like make you feel very comfortable and safe enough to like disclose things. So that's what Millie had to say at the time. She said, "Why you gotta make a lovely friendship your headline? You guys are weird. For real, I'm lucky to have people in the business extend their time to help me further my career and offer their wisdom and guidance. I'm very blessed to have amazing people in my life. You don't get to choose that for me. It's nice to have people understand what I do. Now get back to talking about real problems in this world other than my friendship. Jeez." Millie, girl, I love you. And I'm always going to be Team 11. I love Stranger Things. Thank you. Thank you. Netflix should be thanking you. But girl, you don't get it. So I'm not even going to try and break this. There's nothing to break down. You just don't understand how this at least could be perceived. You don't understand where people are coming from. This is how it starts typically. Again, maybe Drake didn't do anything, but that was weird. The whole "I miss you" conversations and just like going to Drake for like boy advice. Go to your dad if anything. Go to Reddit. Let's go ahead and talk about the whole Billie Eilish situation. So you know how Billie Eilish does like the whole Vanity Fair thing, like every year she will like react to like the previous year, you know? Okay, cool. So Billie Eilish was, I think she was probably like 16, 15. No, I think she was probably like 16 or 17 at the time, right? Billie Eilish said in her Vanity Fair video that Drake is the nicest person ever and she's only talked to him through text. She was also saying that the most famous person on her phone is Drake at that time, right? Y'all don't find that strange? Like, I know sometimes, you know, sometimes we can look into things too deeply and sometimes it is just innocent. But when someone has a history of just like being creepy, you can't help but feel a little bit alarmed here, okay? What do you talk about? In what world does a Drake and Millie Bobby Brown need to be colliding? Or even a Billie Eilish? Like, I get it, you're all stars. But it doesn't mean that your worlds have to collide in any way. And I feel like Drake is that type of person who just stays lurking on like the next big thing. Like, that's what happened with Tyler as well. Even Tyler said that she knew Drake was going to follow her. Do you know how mad that is? What I don't appreciate is people like making the fake tweet. It's clearly edited, by the way. And just making fake comments and stuff. I don't know how you guys have that much time or how you guys are like creative in that way. I could never, like, even if I ever tried to like fake something, I just wouldn't do a good job at it. Like, there would be, the outline would be too big. Like, y'all just different. And most importantly, I just feel like that's sad. Like, let's just stick to the actual facts here. Let's go ahead and talk about this concert that took place in May of 2020. So Drake calls a girl on stage, bundles the girl and kisses her neck, and the crowd cheers along with it. In his defense, he doesn't ask the girl her age, but how does it make it any better? He still fondled her without asking for consent in front of a crowd of people. When the girl tells him that she's only 17, he tries to remedy the situation by saying, "How the hell she look like this? You thick." He jokes he can't go to jail and the crowd cheers along with it. You would have. If there was no goddamn crowd here and you know people were like recording it, bruh, you wouldn't have minded. Be honest. You need to be careful. You have to be careful who you're pulling up on stage, especially if you're doing like, if you're making like sexual advances and stuff like that. So you find out she's 17 and you continue to say, "How the hell she look like this?" Like, you're thick. Sorry? What was that? You're gonna have to have some real dirt on Kendrick Lamar now. But even like that, I just wouldn't post anything. I think just let it be. Accept defeat. You tried, but someone tried harder in this case. They went for you. This shouldn't be seen as comical. Hours later, I still don't know what to say. Like, I'm actually shocked. He was, you know, lurking on someone's Instagram when she was like 16, I think, and then when she turned 19, he took a photo of her. She came to his show. It's just strange. Go for someone your own age. How about that? Why don't we start there? I think a lot of people probably need a lesson. They need to sit down in a classroom and learn something, because a lot of you bitches didn't even pay attention. But that's the thing though, you don't need to learn these things in a classroom. We didn't learn these things in classrooms, we just knew better. So what's your excuse? What times were different back in your day? Guys, what do you think? What do you think about this whole situation? Jake, who's Jake? Jake Gyllenhaal. Drake is a weirdo. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. What do you guys think? What was your reaction when you heard a diss track? Are you guys keeping up with it? Are you team Drake? Are you team Kendrick Lamar? Or are you team I don't care? Make sure you guys follow me over on my Instagram, Itzkeisha_. It's a fun time over on there. And yes, I've been your host, Itzkeisha, and I'll catch you guys real soon for a brand new video. Bye.